Starscream here, and I am the Lord and Master of the GeekCast Radio Network. Don't tell Megatron.
Say hello to Shockwave. Shockwave, are you certain you can extract the decryption code without first nullifying our subject's neural net?
I invented the cortical psychic patch. I am familiar with its idiosyncrasies.
And now, ToyCast, with your hosts, TFG1 Mike and Callie.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is December 2012, and so far the world has not ended yet. Thanks, Mayans. Liars.
We still have a week.
This is ToyCast, the 2012 Puggleformer Christmas episode. Over the last year, I've gotten, man, how many did I get? Jeez, probably about 10 Puggles in the last year, I guess, for the entire year of 2012. And usually how I help Callie promote the stuff besides putting the links on her fan page is I do these episodes once a year at Christmas time to talk about the ones that I got over the last year. So I think we'll start with the initial 5 that I got, because I bought one of your shop fills. I bought the purple one, whose name is Claudus. So I bought him, and then you initially made me Shattered Glass Optimus, Skywarp, Sound Blaster,
I made you.
And Fall of Cybertron / TF Prime Shockwave.
He's whatever you want him to be.
Which created a huge debate on Twitter.
Did it? I don't even remember anymore.
The eye. That eye on the toy is pink. It's not red.
I vaguely remember this conversation, yes.
It's okay. When I sent the request to Callie, I wanted her to use the design of the Fall of Cybertron TF Generations toy in order to make a Puggle out of it. So I was going off a picture that I had seen on Cybertron.com at first, where the picture that they took of the actual physical Shockwave toy, the eye was a deep blood red color. It wasn't bright. It was kind of a muted blood red color. And I said, go by this picture. And I said, you could also look at the wiki and you can go by that picture. Well, in the wiki, the toy's eye looks like it's pink because of the light piping and everything else. And she was like, oh yeah, I made a giant yellow eye for... I'm like, yellow? That's not the... It's not the right color.
I still have that eye.
Well, you can make a G1 Shocky for BotCon 2013.
That's the plan.
So yeah, that was the first order. So Shockwave, Shattered Glass Optimus, Skywarp, G1 Skywarp, and who's the other one? Oh, Sound Blaster. Really, even though, speaking of Shattered Glass Optimus, I've got him in my hand here. Even though it's just a piece of black thread on his panel, I love how it makes it look like his glass is shattered. I thought that was really cool how you did that, even though it's just a piece of...
embroidery.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not a sewing magnate. I don't know technical terms. This is why we have you on every year, so you can teach people.
Embroidery.
Yes. But no, Shattered Glass Optimus is very, very, very awesome. He goes well with my Shattered Glass Rodimus, which was actually the first one I ever got from you.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Sound Blaster. He's the first one that I have that actually has the Puggleformer logo on him.
Yeah, that's new, to avoid copyright infringement.
Hey, it works, And you've been told by, well, not by Hasbro, but by BotCon that you fall under...
By Pete.
Right, by Pete Sinclair, that you fall under fan art, and it's not, you're not, you you don't have an entire manufacturing shop where you pump these things out on.
Yeah, I'm taking pictures of my little sewing table. Like, this is my factory.
This is my factory. Yeah. Yeah, and I've always loved the character of Skywarp simply because he can teleport and he's black and purple, and those are two of my favorite colors. And you had originally made two for BotCon 2012. Yeah, it was 2012 or 2011. I forget. When did you go? Did you go this year?
2012.
2012. Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't at BotCon 2011.
Right.
2010, I was just a dirt fangirl walking around.
Oh. So you had made Skywarp, and I'm like, ooh, I want that. So I finally had you make me one of those, and I again, very, very, very cool. I love how his wings not only are they glittery, but I love how you're able to work these into the little accessories, whether it's accents or wings or the vents. I love how you're able to sew these into technically what is a fabric ball. I love the little designs and little eccentricities of it, which is very awesome.
I tried to put null rays once, and they ended up kind of looking like mufflers, so I never did that again.
Was it for a Starscream?
For a Starscream, yeah. It had the old event style too, the really big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never again. It didn't really look quite right. Now I'm looking at the ones with the smaller vents that look proper, and I'm looking at the old ones. I'm like, what was I doing?
Well, you'll learn over time. I mean, you learn how things work and what works for your designs and everything else. The next, yeah, I got those before I got those. The next ones I got was actually one of your eBay auctions, because not only does Callie do commissions every other month, she does 10 commissions every other month, which you can find on her DeviantArt, which will be linked in the post on the website. She started to do eBay Puggles, and I won your Blaster auction, because apparently no one really liked that Blaster's visor essentially jutted out.
I barely liked it.
Aww. But it's kind of like he's got a sun visor. It's kind of... no. It's not a sun visor. It's kind of like he's wearing a golf hat. Blaster on a golf course.
That makes it worse.
No, it makes it bad. It makes it cooler, because you know how you have those golf visors where it's just a strap in the back, and then there's just the rim of the hat. This essentially looks like a rim of a golf hat, and it's awesome.
I made it too big.
It's okay. I like it. Now this was the first one. This and this one and the Clodus one, the all purple one, were the first ones I've had where you've used the butt tags that you've created.
Yeah, I'm kind of just getting new stuff added over time.
Right. What possessed you to essentially brand your Puggles with butt tags?
It seemed the thing to do because other doll makers do it. I also had this crazy dream which involved Antique Roadshow, and I won't get into detail on that.
Yeah. Oh, you can talk about it if you want to. That's up to you.
No, now it sounds stupid. But I found a nice tag maker on Etsy who's prints it, writes on the fabric, and prints really good quality, and went out of their way to do a lot of good stuff for me lately. I kind of have to pimp them on. Can I pimp them?
Oh, sure. You can pimp whoever you want. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me.
You don't even know the name of the person.
They're called Green Beans and Strings. GRENBEANNSTRINGS. Green Bean and Strings on Etsy. And they went completely out of the way lately to make sure I had the tags for BotCon faster than I ever could have expected. Just because I messed up and accidentally got the last tags that say BotCon on them, and apparently I'm not legally allowed to do that. So then I was freaking out, and I contacted them and told them, no, I messed up, I need tags, and time is of the essence. And then they responded, and they put priority shipping on it, and I got those tags so fast. So that's really good customer service there, and their tags are awesome. And now I'm done. pimping this tag maker on Etsy.
So green beans and strings?
Yes.
Okay. You'll have to send me the link on Twitter and I'll put it in the post. The next auction on eBay that she did was for the Rainmakers. Acid Storm, quote-unquote Sunstorm, and I actually changed his name to Snowstorm because I think it's cooler, but Air Warrior. Acid Storm, these were 3 Cybertronian jets that were in one of the G1 episodes. They outside of Acid Storm, the other 2 never really had a name.
My brain lied to me and told me the Air Warrior was one of the Rainmakers.
Yeah, these ones I have yet to do a YouTube video for, and
I mess up a lot if people haven't noticed.
Well, as much as I love Acid Storm, his face is essentially drooping off of his mouth is essentially drooping off of his face.
What?
That's okay. Yeah, his mouth, remember?
Oh yeah, it came out a little bit sideways, that one. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes Puggles will just kind of like smirk in the wrong directions. Embroidery, the way I do embroidery isn't like perfect science because I don't have an embroidery machine, so I'm doing it all by hand. Right.
Yeah, these are the only 3 out of, because for those of you who have listened to one of these Puggleformer Christmas episodes before, I've said that, was it 2010, I think. Yeah, 2010, 2009, somewhere around there is when I first talked to you and got Rodimus and whatever else. But it's been a number of years, and over these years, I think at this point, my Puggleformer and Puggle Army in general is up to, I think, 45. I would have to do the math on that again, but I think it's almost close to 50 in about 4 years. These are the only 3 so far, because I haven't been able to get to them to do a video review because I've been traveling and dealing with other stuff. These are the only 3 that still have their ribbons on them, because usually that's the first thing I do is I open them up, I take the ribbons off, and I've saved all of them from all the ones I have. I just put them in a little jar that I have. But these are the Rainmakers all still have their ribbons and tags on them. But no, these huh?
I don't think I've ever explained where the name tag thing came from.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the original Puggles, like before I even made Puggleformers, all had little name tags because it seemed like the thing to do at the time. And then it just kind of carried over to the Puggleformers because I figured, why the hell not? Because at first I was just making Puggleformers on request and still not even doing them that many of them. It was every so often. But now I do them all the time, so now they just still keep having name tags because it's just a leftover remnant from the old Puck Puggles.
Right. Well, and plus, it gives them a uniqueness. I mean, sure, you do an amazing job, with taking pictures and using the titles and the naming the stuff for your DeviantArt to show off your art, to show off that you've made a new Puggle or a new Puggleformer. But I think having the tags and having having that and only doing 10 every other month, so those 10 people have whatever they choose, they have a character that they either love or that they want in Puggle form, and it has something to go along with it. And pretty much all of the time, I think the only time that I did not get a Puggleformer that had a matching ribbon to him was with my Galvatron/Megatron crossover in Guzzletron, because he had a blue ribbon. But every time you've found ribbon to match the color of whatever Puggle it is. Like I'm looking at Acid Storm now, and he's got a green and kind of silverish ribbon, but it essentially ties into his color scheme overall, because the majority of it is green. And I think that's just, that adds something unique to them, and it's very interesting. And I find it very interesting on how you get some of these tags made, because I've seen tags made out of Autobot symbols, Decepticon symbols, toy packaging.
I try to make things a little bit special, like making the envelopes to mail them into. Like it's like getting a present in the mailbox. This made sense at the time when I started all this.
Yeah, well, it still makes sense, And you're right. It is like getting a present in the mailbox. And no, you don't mess up in your sewing misadventures. Knock that off. Going back to Blaster a bit, because the one thing I didn't talk about him with was this is the first time I've ever. Where did Eject go? What the hell? Oh, here he is. This is the first time I've ever had hatchlings from you, because Blaster and his cassettes was one of the eBay auctions, and that any hatchling you've ever done just goes to show you how talented you are to get as much detail. I mean, hatchlings are what, half the size? Well, a quarter of the size of a regular size Puggle.
About half.
Okay, I mean these things are essentially, if you took Digimon and combined it with Pokemon and the non-evolved form of a Digimon in a Pokeball, this is essentially what a hatchling is. And
the eggs aren't Pokeballs; they're eggs.
I know they're eggs. No, but I'm saying the size of the hatchling is kind of like a starter kit for a Digimon, is what I'm saying. So they go for, they start out as one form and then they evolve into something else, is what I'm kind of getting at here. But
they're babies.
I think you actually need bigger eggs, because I had a hard time getting some of them out of the eggs.
I tried to fit them into basic, like, little Easter eggs, which was also technically a leftover remnant from the old Puff Puggles. Because I made their little about sheets before the Puggle formers.
Right.
And I made them egg-laying mammals because the term Puggle is actually the term for a baby platypus, which is baby platypus and baby echidnas, which are egg-laying mammals. So I just kind of went with that. So I shoved the babies inside little eggs, and it just carried over into the Puggle formers, because I figured, why the hell not?
No, it's very cool. And again, it's something unique and different and something very, very awesome. So we've got Eject, Rewind, Ramhorn, and Steeljaw with Blaster's cassettes here. And each of them is very, very cool. I find it funny that I think I actually have a picture of this. I might have to put it in the post. I think when I first got Blaster and his little cassette buddies for the Puggle versions, I think when I first got him, I essentially took Rewind and put him on Sound Blaster's head, and he's like, "Hi, Dad," because they essentially look very similar to each other with the face plates, and even though Rewind's is white and not gray, but and then you got Steeljaw, who is the lion, who his side things came out very well. I thought his the side embroidery on him. See, I can use the terms. But no, he came out really, really well, and again, the detail. I just don't know how you got fangs that small on Steeljaw. That's awesome. And the last one, something you didn't really like after you finished him, but I love Ramhorn.
He doesn't look like Ramhorn at all.
He does.
I don't know what he looks like. I don't know what I made.
He does look like Ramhorn. He's very, very awesome. But yeah, those are the Puggles that I got this year. You have huge plans for next year, because you are going to BotCon 2013 in San Diego from June 27th to the 30th.
Yes.
Any thoughts and ideas on? Are you gonna do the same thing last year as what you did this year?
I'm pretty much going to do the same thing. I'm going to try and make a few more Puggles than I did last year, but
okay.
I hope I will make at least 100, the same amount as last year. I'm not sure how many more past that number I'm going to make, because I'm an idiot and decided to take an overseas trip for 2 weeks in the middle of April. So that will bite into some time. The mystery grab egg hatchling eggs were not as popular as the original Puggle formers, but I still sold out of them, so I'll be doing that again.
Okay.
Actually, after I sold out, a couple people were coming back to the table asking me if I had more. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what hatchling ended up where, because people just took the egg and didn't open them in front of me, and I forgot what I put in what egg. So okay, like 2 people opened them in front of me. Later, I found someone got the only sunstorm in the entire baby sunstorm in the entire lot. Ended up making an adventure blog with them.
Oh, you'll have to link me to that. I don't think I saw that one.
They recorded a little song by Sunstorm and everything, and then they later even posted another post when they bought one of the normal puggles off my shop.
Okay, yeah, you'll have to link me to the Hatchling Sunstorm because I don't think I ever saw that.
So things like that will just happen.
Yep.
Just surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be nearly as popular as last year because I don't think Pete is going to go out of his way to like make me awesome like he did the last time. I can't expect that. I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Yeah, but I mean...
It's reasonably possible, but if I keep my expectations low, then everything else seems much more awesome. And I'm being realistic as well, so it's like I won't be disappointed if I'm not treated like I'm super awesome or anything. But yeah, I'll be doing the mystery grab bag egg hatchlings. I'm going to have at least 100 Puggle formers. I'm going to try to make a little special display out of cardboard or something, but no promises there. Because I'm not sure what to make or how I'm going to transport it from New York to California.
Yeah. Well, do you still have last year's banner, the crayon banner?
Yes, but I'm going to make a new banner because we're going to get, because a couple of people that are kind of famous in the Transformers industry have kind of offered to draw on it.
Hey, that's cool.
Including Mr. Bill Forster has agreed to.
Awesome.
He's actually very excited about it. He's like, I'm going to practice my puggles now.
That's very cool.
And if Derek Wyatt shows up, he'll probably draw on it too, but I'm not going to like promise for him.
Right.
I say the word like every other sentence. Yeah. So we're gonna have a new Puggle banner. I'm gonna get as many people as possible to draw on it. Just complete strangers even. It's okay.
Very cool, very cool. I think it would be really interesting if you made for the BotCon Puggles, if you went ahead and did maybe... Well, you've done Fort Max before. Michael Wilson has that one. My buddy Michael Wilson has Fort Max. But if you did something along the lines of G1 Fort Max and Scorponok or Triptychon and Metroplex or, something, to add it. Because I remember this year's stuff and there's a lot of cool Puggles there, but there's so many other characters that I don't think you even tackled yet in Puggle form or form.
I'm going to try and do more familiar characters like I've done last year because every time I try to take on a new project, it takes twice as long because I have to make all the pattern parts and everything.
Right.
To you, everyone just sees a ball of fluff, but every single pattern, every single vent, every single forehead crest, every single
piece has its own pattern.
Yeah. I have this giant, very disorganized pattern envelope where I've had to begun marking what piece is for what now, because I will just lose things in there. Or sometimes it'll be faster just to make a new pattern piece instead of digging in there for what I made before.
That's so
every
fun.
faceplate, every chevron, every door wing, I have like 5 different door wings for Seekers alone. Wing patterns for Seekers. Because the TFA ones are different from the G1 ones, and sometimes they want something that's more movie-based and have the G... Yeah. So for the BotCon ones, I try to keep it familiar, but with a lot of the More Than Meets the Eye characters now that are becoming popular that I really want to make. I tried to make Fulcrum for a commission. That kind of sort of worked. Almost. Yeah. I might try to tackle Tailgate again. The one that I made for last year really sucked, but a little girl bought it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's, they're all great. I mean, all the hard work you put into it is, it's very well loved, even though it may not, it's like, I think with you've gotten to the point where, in general, you have those people like me who will continue to come back, a loyal customer or, a steady customer. And, and then you've got some people on the commissions that may have never gotten one before. There's new people that have gotten, a lotto spot. And then I think with you going to BotCon, it essentially spreads the word about you and your craft. So, people won't ever forget that.
I was surprised how many other plush makers were there last year too at BotCon. There was at least one other that had something that kind of looked like a Puggle knockoff, but they were only taking like requests for them to pre-order them, and they weren't quite as good. I don't even know who they are, so we'll see who shows up this year.
Yeah,
and we'll see what my competition is.
Yes. Speaking of the Sunstorm linking and stuff, the comic or the photos you were talking about. I also remember, wasn't it the Star Horse that did a whole Mirage comic thing?
Star Horse has a few Puggles of her own, and she takes photo comics of toys as it is. And every so often, Puggles will just show up, and it always makes me happy. She did this whole thing she did a whole mini-series involving Puggles and Mirage.
Yeah, that was awesome. I read through that. That was so awesome. Very cool. Very cool.
Made me so happy. I like Star Horse. She's very nice. I can't pronounce words today. Star Horse? What am I saying? I'm sorry, Star Horse. Don't hurt.
Yeah, that's very, very awesome. So there you go, everybody. We hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and Happy Holidays in general. And I'm not really officially announcing this because I don't know it. I have to juggle finances and everything else, but I might actually be going to my first BotCon in 2013. Might. I have sort of a plan, so that'll be awesome to meet up with Callie and meet up with a bunch of the other Transformers friends that I've made over the last 3 or 4 years. But yeah, that's been the Puggleformer 2012 Christmas episode. ToyCast will be finishing, hopefully in the early months of 2013, with episode 99 and episode 100. After episode 100, we will still do the Puggleformer episodes, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Summer of Puggles, or whatever. We will still be doing those, but after episode 100, ToyCast will essentially be done.
I feel special.
You are special.
I'm a special snowflake.
You're a special what?
I'm a special snowflake.
Oh, snowflake. That's not what I thought you said. Okay,
I want to know what you thought I
said. So with that, I have been TFG and Mike with...
I'm Callie. Hi. Bye.
The Puggle Lady.
Yes.
All right, we will catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Megatron speaks. Security on Cybertron has been breached. Destroy all intruders with rain. Acid rain.